Then lastly, the technological advancements. That is the development of new features, upgrades, or innovations that enhance the cryptocurrency's value propositions. So you see that all of these things I've mentioned are what it takes to give value to cryptocurrency. So value is subjective and can vary depending on individual perspectives and criteria. It is also possible for a cryptocurrency's price to deviate from its perceived value, at least in some term. To illustrate the difference, a cryptocurrency's price might be, say, $100, but its value to a particular user or investor might be higher or lower depending on their individual assessment of its utility, potentials, and risks. A cryptocurrency's price might fluctuate, rapidly due to market volatility, but its underlying value might remain relatively stable if its fundamental characteristics and use cases remain unchanged. So what that means is that price reflects the current market value of a cryptocurrency, while value represents the perceived worth of utility of a cryptocurrency, encompassing various factors beyond market price. So, where does Pi Network come in all of what I've just said? If you look at Pi Network, if you categorize Pi Network as normal cryptocurrencies or the usual cryptocurrencies that we know, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and so many of them, you will definitely use the yardstick that their value or price is measured to arrive at what you can predict to be the price of Pi Network. But these facts remain. Pi Network, and I've said that severally on this channel, that it is no match for any cryptocurrency. The development, the strategy, the things that Pi Network has achieved is completely different. So Pi Network cannot be categorized or measured or looked or judged using the yardsticks of all of this cryptocurrency. If you do that, you are going to get it all wrong. Simply put, Pi Network is a currency on its own. And there is nowhere I've heard that the dollar has a market capitalization. There's nowhere I've heard that the yen have market capitalization. So currencies, fiat, legal tenders of any nation does not have market capitalization, but they do have value. So to determine the price or worth of Pi Network is to know what is the utility of Pi Network. And as we speak, Pi Network is about the only cryptocurrency that have been used for everyday trading, even though it is still in the closed mainnet or what is called enclosed network period. Now, think about when it is launched into the mainstream network and everybody is free to use it. And we have heard a lot of big corporations that have keyed into Pi Network. This is no joke and this is no hype. These are realities and these are things on ground currently. So if Pi Network should launch today and all of this utility are to come in, as a matter of fact, it is going to be very difficult to see Pi Network or Pi Coin on the exchange because people will not derive the pleasure of what cryptocurrency gives by going to the exchange to buy and sell, but rather uses the Pi Network directly to interact with merchants, goods, and services. For Pi Network to be considered a day-to-day currency, then its price must be stable. Do you know why? Because an ordinary man on the streets wouldn't want to use a coin that has a volatile price. The price ought to be stable. And that's why I will say advisably that the global consensus value is not a value to be wished away. It could hold a key to understanding and knowing the value of Pi Network on the long run. The price of Pi Network might not be up to that amount, but supposing it is what it is. Now, I want to show us one evidence from the Pi Developers Chat Forum, where I think Pi Network could be heading to something like stable coin. And if it heads to become a stable coin, what value could it be? So it is most likely that the value of $314 or $314,000 might be possible. Let's look at a discussion between some developers and Nicholas, one of the founding member of the Pi network. Now, this is Pi chat, and this chat room is for English, meant for developers of Pi network ecosystem. And let us look at some questions that were asked and how the answer goes. And a particular user was addressing the call team, and he says, management, I want to ask, the transaction charge is really fixed 0.01 or proportionally 1 over 100 to the goods. A fixed rate of 0.1, it may be too high if miners go to mini shop to buy little goods, unless transaction charge is proportional 1 to 100 or 1 to 1000 to goods price. Now, Nicholas gave the response to this user, and he says, it is fixed to be 0.01, but we expect it to decrease over time. For example, become 0.001 or 0.0001 as needed. This means Pi will exchange far much less than the consensus price of $314,159 being bandied about. If we accept that the price of one pi is $314,159, then the transaction fee of 0.01 pi will translate to about $3,141. Can one pay over $3,000 as transaction fee? Do I believe the pi price will be far less than the said consensus price? So that is the question this user asked. Now, if this global consensus price is rubbish, is totally false, is a mirage, a dream, Nicholas is interacting with the developers here. Now, hear what the response he gave. Nicholas here now said, at some point, pi may be used in much smaller denomination, e.g., nano or microns. 1 nano is 1 millionth of a pi. The blockchain can support down to 0.1 nanopi. Now, look at the response Nicholas gave. He didn't dismiss the value of pi to be $314,000+. He even gave a response that the blockchain can even give a very smaller value in the range of nano or micro pi. Is to me a way of agreeing that the global consensus value is not something to be wished away. And he says that the blockchain could support it. But for me, this is the first time I'm hearing that a smaller value could be attached to cryptocurrency, because I've never heard of nano Bitcoin being traded anywhere. As a matter of fact, if you have 0.70, then 1 Bitcoin, you cannot buy anything. You cannot even transfer it on the exchange, because that is far, far much less on what can goes on the exchange. So for Nicholas to say that this little quantity of pi could go on pi blockchain, it's like saying that that global consensus value could be something real. And let's come to think of something. If it becomes real, who benefits? It is you and I who have pi. So to ask, what could be the actual price of pi after mainnet? For a fact, the price of pi after mainnet is going to be huge. It's going to be mind-blowing. So if you have pi right now, please protect your pi. The global consensus value might come true. The global consensus value, if not come true, might affect how the price of pi will be. And if it does affect it, trust me, It might affect it in such a way that you and I might not imagine. If it does affect it big and you play with your pie, you might regret it. And that's why I said from the onset that if you are holding on to pie, you might just be holding on to a very massive wealth. Protect your pie. Please stay vigilant, stay hopeful, and let us continue the crypto talk discussion. What's your view? What's your take if you stay up until this time about Pi network price after mainnet? Do you believe in the global consensus value? Do you believe Pi is going to be a stable coin? Do you believe Pi is going to even have any value at all, or it's a scam altogether? Let us know in the comment section. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Crypto Talk for more in-depth and insightful discussion on everything around Web3, especially Pi Network, that is a rave of the moment. I'll catch you and see you again in another video. I love you so much. Goodbye.